Hello everyone, I'm Katrina and today I'm going to be discussing something a little bit controversial, and that is cover changes. I like my covers to match on my shelf, and it irritates me when it's made impossible to do so because the cover changes partway through the series being published. I hate it. I did a whole video ranting about this whole thing, but admittedly there have been some cover changes that look a lot better than the original ones, even though I hate the idea of cover changes. In these instances, I think they did a good job. So I'm gonna talk about some of my favourite cover changes. Ooh, it feels wrong saying that. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So this is the original cover that came out for the first book, and it's not the best cover. I mean, I don't personally think it's awful, but then this happened. Now we're talking. Both the UK and the US covers of these are just so much better. Selena on the cover looks much more assassin-like, I think. I mean, in the first one she's there with like her knife strapped to her arm and stuff, but in this one she looks powerful and you don't want to mess with her. Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. This is the original cover that came out, and it's a bit of that typical girl in a pretty dress. And what does the pretty dress have to do with the story whatsoever? And then they changed it to this beauty. For me personally, I fell in love with these covers because I've just kind of got a fascination with eyes. Like, I don't draw very often, but if I draw, it's of an eye. Just with the tree branches, how the eyelashes should go, and the color scheme, it's much more appealing to the eye. And it's interesting, it's unique. You're just like, what does this mean? Anna and the French Kiss and Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. The first two books in this companion series came out before the covers changed to these. I really like the colouring in the new covers, and also just the original ones look quite cheesy. They're kind of cute. You can tell they're a contemporary novel, but they're not the most appealing covers. I don't find them very attractive. But these ones definitely are more appealing, and the typography as well looks much cleaner and nicer in this one. Sabriel by Garth Nix. So this is one of the original covers, and there have been a few different covers of this one, but the one that I'm going to be comparing it to is this one. I decided to compare these two in particular just because they are quite similar. There's some other Sabriel covers that have a symbol in the center, but this one is much more comparable because it's focusing on Sabriel on the cover. And I think the main reason why I like the new one is because the old one looks a bit dated. Sabriel did come out in 1995, so I can kind of see why the cover looks the way it does, but then you get this one and it looks much more epic in my opinion. I like the style of the illustration a lot more, and I also think that the stance in which the character on the cover looks much more foreboding and kind of dangerous. It's just like, ha, rather than, huh, if you get what I mean. Does that make any sense? Probably not. And while the colouring of the clothes is quite similar in both of them, I like how in the new cover this takes over the rest of the cover. It just kind of sticks with that bluish colour scheme. The next series of cover changes all have to do with one series, and thankfully these did not happen partway through the series being published, so you could still get the entirety of that first original edition cover, and you can also get the new ones if you so please. And a lot of people do so please because it is for Harry Potter. I'm not going to show every single cover because there's 7 books and that's going to clutter the screen a lot. Instead, I'll just show you the Philosopher's Stone, or rather Sorcerer's Stone if you're from the US. But we have the original UK and US editions, which I like. I think the main reason why I like these is mainly because it's just so iconic to me, the nostalgia factor of seeing those covers. I didn't fall in love with them. I wasn't like, those are amazing covers, but you know, they're fine. Then you get some of the new ones that are coming out. We have a US cover change, which is gorgeous, and the actual spines of these all make the Hogwarts castle, so when you have them together they look stunning. We also have these UK covers, which again, absolutely gorgeous. I love the illustrations of these ones so much more than the original covers. And then we see more and more and more and more covers that are being released. There's just so many different editions available now. It's kind of mind-blowing, and it just makes it so hard because I want to get all of them. What am I going to do with 7 different editions of the Harry Potter series? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I want to do it anyway. Especially with the recent announcement of the Harry Potter house covers. I'm definitely buying myself a Hufflepuff one. I can't not do it. I can't. So those are 5 cover changes that I actually don't mind. In fact, I love them. I love that they changed the covers because they look so much better. I just don't love the fact that if I bought the first book in the original edition, then the rest of them won't be in the same that's pretty much why I haven't bought myself a copy of Isla and the Happily Ever After, and I also gave away my original Shatter Me copy so I could get the new eye cover. But I can't afford to buy all the changed covers every time they do it, so it just... sacrifice. I would be very curious about which cover change is your favourite. Which new covers do you think work so much better than the old ones? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. And don't forget that I will be back tomorrow with a new video, but until next time, I'll see you guys in the comments. Bye!